story.
this
So
works.
yeah. So
Oh,
so tell me the story. What
hey,
seems
okay.
to what seems to what seemingly got you here?
Yeah, is this like my story with this whole non-duality thing, or
Hmm.
like in
Yeah.
general?
Well,
Okay.
whatever. Yeah. General or non-duality doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, like just to have a bit of background, like growing up, I've always been this kind of kid that thinks a lot about stuff, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and uh, and this has helped me for the longest time navigate life
Mm-hmm.
in a way. Like I'd always figure things out. I'd always think about stuff. And yeah, so growing up, I did a few things here and there, and I stumbled upon psychedelics.
Okay.
And and yeah, that was like the thing that first uh, fueled my curiosity in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like it was the thing that showed me in an innocent way that things can get pretty weird, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, and before that, I did not have that idea at all. I was thinking that things are just the way they are and
Okay.
the way I know them. Okay. Yeah, so I have gotten into that a bit more, but up until this point, I had no idea about spirituality and non-duality or
Okay.
anything like that. Yeah, until during one experience, it was a bit of an uncomfortable experience because I remember that at some point it felt like I lost memory, literally.
Okay.
I literally lost memory, yeah. Not in the sense that I'm losing some memories or stuff like that. No, no. It's like I literally do not know anything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was extremely scary. Uh, but getting out from that, that has definitely fueled some sort of curiosity in me. So I
Yeah.
started digging, and yeah, that led me to non-duality. And when it comes to non-duality, like at first, I have stumbled into the more entry level, so to speak,
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and then I have gotten even more interested into that. I have stumbled upon someone called Simply Always Awake. It's a YouTube channel. If
Okay.
you're familiar with it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a guy called Angelo. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very cool guy. Yeah,
He's cool. Yeah.
yeah,
S-
and Angelo, and then I have seen a couple of other people, but up until that point, it was all like some conceptual stuff mostly, even though I have tried uh, touching that stuff in my direct experience. I'd say I've had some stuff resonate, but for the most part, it was purely conceptual.
Okay.
Uh, and that was until I stumbled upon radical non-duality, I guess it's called. Yeah, and that I'd say resonated with me the most.
Okay.
That stuff, yeah. And then I stumbled upon your channel, and yeah, here I am. So that's the
Okay.
story, I guess. Yeah.
So what seems to be the problem then?
Okay, so going into this, I'm honestly not even sure. But like, just to, yeah. Oops. Yeah,
No
I guess
worries.
that's my,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I have written down a couple of stuff just to,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, just to have something to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so the first thing that stands out to me is there is this very sticking belief,
Hmm.
this belief that there is something to attain. Like, there's definitely some sort of, not necessarily experience, but there's some sort of shift, if you will, like some sort of shift in perception or some sort of shift in the way I see or experience things. That's, I'm thinking, that's a sticking belief. So what about that?
Whose belief is that, though?
I mean, I'm not really sure. Yeah,
Okay.
like I'm not even sure. It's like there is this idea and then there's some sort of claiming.
Yeah. But who's claiming it?
So I guess another idea. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
just taking this for granted in a way. Like I don't even think about it. It just happens automatically and I'm taking it for
Okay.
granted for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably because that's the way I have learned to do things or think about things.
And how did you
Yeah,
come
but
up
I
with
don't
that?
think there's a basis. Probably another idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you see what I'm talking about. It's like
Yeah, I do.
I get so lost into these kind of thoughts. Sometimes
Yeah, but who gets lost in the
it gets
thoughts?
crazy. Yeah.
Who gets lost in the thoughts?
Uh, I mean, now that I think about it, I think that that's the primary idea, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, like there's always this taken for granted idea that
Yeah.
there's me, that all these stuff are happening to, or all these thoughts are appearing to.
Yeah. So what without that idea, what are you then?
Like, in a way, I'd like to say I don't know,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. For sure. Yeah.
Who gave you this idea then?
Well,
Where did you
I'm
hear
not
this
sure.
idea? Yeah, where did you hear this idea?
Well, it feels like I heard it in my head. That's what it feels like, but
Are you sure?
no,
Okay.
that's what the other idea says, I guess.
So you're just full of ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Okay.
seems to happen, I guess.
Which is just
Yeah,
another idea, right? Because who's full of ideas?
that's true, but then the fact that that's also an idea is an idea in itself,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Is in a fact
So
also an
if we're
idea?
going down that path, sorry?
Is in a fact also just an idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and it feels like as long as I'm chasing these ideas, I'm running in circles.
You are.
Yeah, it does feel like
Yeah.
that in a way.
I was wondering when you're going to run out of, ideas, right? Because you just keep on coming up with one after the other.
Yeah, and it's like e- every idea reflects the next idea or some,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not even
like there's
reflecting
some
because it's
sort
just
of
another idea. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So in this directness, in this, let's just call it, let's just pretend that there's no ideas whatsoever. Let's just go into that clarity, that directness, that that edge of perception, so to speak, right? Where you cannot come up with the ideas. Um, what do you think is happening? What do you think is happening here?
I don't know. Like I, it feels like the soon I talk about it, I'm back to ideas.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't.
So what are you without ideas then? What are you without concepts? What are you without a second? What are you without a thought?
This, I don't know. I mean,
That's just another
I
idea.
can't even point to it, to be
No,
honest.
you
Or
can't. Yeah.
yeah,
So let's just state the obvious, right? That any ideas is just coming from an idea, meaning that
yeah,
Khalil is just a thought, really, it's just an idea. And you'll just keep on coming with it. The whole framework of what you are is just an idea. But what if all ideas are illusory? What if all ideas are made up? What if all ideas are, you have no idea what an idea is, basically? And what if what is seemingly happening is just an idea? What if what you're looking for is just an idea? What if you're seeking for is just an idea? Without any ideas, is there even a point to this? Isn't it
no,
just, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
no. Just go ahead, please.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be listening.
Okay. Yeah. So if there's no point to the idea of feeding an idea, which is another idea, what if you don't have any more ideas? What if ideas are irrelevant? Because you know what? People would be saying that I'm looking for peace, I'm looking for happiness, I'm looking for freedom. But all those are just ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what if the ideas are the very blindfold or the obstacle that seems to hide what is being longed for, which is just, I don't know. What if I don't know is looking for I don't know and it gets caught up in ideas, thinking that it knows what it wants, but it doesn't really know what it wants. And the knowing creates this seeming suffering of wanting to know, but there's nothing to know because it's just a whole bunch of I don't know, meaning it's unknowable.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the stickier parts. The fact that uh, it seems like I want to grasp this or to
But who wants to
have
grasp
some sort
this?
of hold of this.
But who wants to hold on to this? Who wants to grasp an idea, just clinging to another idea?
Yeah, I guess that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
So what do you want from that then? What do you want to grasp then? What idea what do you want to grasp? I'll give it to you. What do you want to grasp?
Yeah. Uh,
Do you want to grasp the idea that there's no you? That the dropping away of the you? Here's, I just gave it to you. It's just an idea.
Yeah. No, it's
If I can give away the ideas, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then I'll just give you, it's just another idea, right? So I can't give you an idea, basically. I can verbally tell you, here's an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, um, honestly, I'm not even sure there is like
What is it?
genuine interest in grasping that idea, but it's
Yeah.
rather that it just wants to keep on grasping, not necessarily that
Are you
idea.
sure?
It feels like no, that's what it
Okay.
feels like, or that's what
But according
it
to who?
seems to be, I guess.
Yeah, but according to who? Who feels like this? Or who's the one that feels like this? I can just keep on feeding you ideas.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I see. Yeah, I see.
You see what I'm getting at,
Yeah, but
right? Sorry if
yeah,
I'm
I
being
do.
tough.
But no, no, no. I really appreciate that. Like, um, I'm
And
much
being
more
cheeky.
open. Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Let me know if I'm getting too rough.
uh, well, I have no threshold to be honest, so
Okay.
you
All
can do
right.
your thing. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right. So, what is
Oh,
it that you want then?
yeah. So,
What is it that you really, really want, right? What is it that you're looking for?
I mean, if I get to answer that question, that appears to be also an idea, right?
Well, but tell me, yeah, tell me. See if we can see through that idea to see if it's beyond the
Honestly, I
idea.
just honestly, I just want to have a more fulfilling life. Like
Okay.
that's
And what
about
does
it.
the more fulfilling life look to you?
Like some kind of life where I can enjoy everything without having to think about stuff or without having to be in my thoughts all the time. I don't know, stuff like that. A more direct life, I'd say.
What if it's already a direct
Something
life
like
and
that.
what if it's already a direct life, but you just seem to get out of the way, meaning the thought just seems to get out of the way. But
Yeah, I think
the
that's
thought
what
is not
happens
even,
exactly.
yeah, but the thought's not even relevant, right? Because it's just an idea. So in this directness, when there is no thoughts, just this directness, right? The moment you think or you try to, although there's not you doing any of that, then you're basically obscuring what I'm trying to say here. In this directness, there are really no thoughts, meaning that these words are coming out automatically in demand without a prior. There's no prior thought in this directness. All of this appearance right now is just really direct, and there's no obstacle, there's no barrier. So this is direct. And then before you think of it, that's not direct, even a thinking seems to be just a passing cloud in this directness. It seems like what characters do is they get caught up in the clouds. So in this
Yeah.
directness, um, this very, very directness, this very, very moment, um, are there any thoughts?
Yeah. There are thoughts that are saying there are thoughts.
Okay. Let's go
Yeah.
more directly. Let's even go a little bit more directly, right? Because you know what, you thought about it when I
Yeah.
answered you. You and that's okay. That's just what happens, right? So in this directness, this very moment, right? This instant, without a second, without a two, is there a thought?
No, I
Okay.
guess.
All right. So there's
Like
this
for a second there's nothing, but
no, but
then
listen to me,
the
listen to
mind
me.
quickly gets
No, that's just
okay.
another thought. So you just came up with another thought, right? And that's okay. That's all right, right? In this directness, you said that there's no thought. And then
Yeah.
the thought comes in, you know, saying to block that there's no thought. Well, in that period, you know what I'm saying? Um, so in this directness, is there any thought? It's just really simple. It's just yes or no. Right? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to think about it because there's really no thought. In this directness, is there
Mm,
any thought?
no,
Is there any problems?
no,
Isn't there just this stillness? Now your idea of stillness, not your not your fantasy of what stillness is, but in its very directness, isn't it just completely still? There is this something that never moves, something that is infinitely here, something that is always overlooked, but is always what thought is missing. It's the peace that cannot be understood. It's the freedom that does not have any boundaries. It's the love without a two. And that's what seems to be longed for. But what this emptiness or stillness that never moves, seems to be hidden, but it appears in everything. It even appears as thoughts, it appears as movements, it appears as an illusion. But yet something is permanent. And that permanence is unshakable, really. So no matter what thoughts come and go, there's this peace that cannot be known, that never moves, that's always here, that is no thing, but it's also everything. So thoughts become really irrelevant because it's just movements of what is not moving. So the apparent character can only, appear in a two or a thought or a movement or a time or a seeming idea. But what if all of the movements and the time and you and me are all illusory, meaning that they're not even real? What seems to be real, again, that's just another, a suggestion, does not move, meaning it's immovable. It's always here. It's the infinite. In the illusion, the infinite can appear as thoughts or ideas, but since they are just appearances, they're completely irrelevant. So, what if everything that you think about is completely irrelevant and not necessary? Meaning that this is happening automatically. Kind of like what I'm saying, that when you are in this directness, there is really no thinking. There's an appearance of thinking that comes and goes, but it's not permanent. There are moments of complete silence, and then the seeming idea or the thought seems to take over, but that's just an illusion. It's like a cloud that is passing by a clear blue sky. If you're looking for the sky, the seeming idea that the clouds are apart from it, it's a part, it's separate from it, when it's actually just the entirety of the sky. So there's an unmoving and there's also a moving, which is the same. So again, what are you looking at if you cannot use your thoughts? What are you seeing without thoughts?
Looking at this,
What's this? What's this? What do you mean by this?
it feels, I'm not even sure how to describe it. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels familiar because in a way it's always been this,
Yeah.
like from the character's standpoint, I guess. So it feels familiar, but I mean, that's all I can say about it, I guess.
Yeah. Is there anything missing if you can't use your thoughts, or if you can't use concepts or whatever?
No,
No.
like if I don't have to use thoughts, it feels like there's nothing to talk about even, or
Yeah. So what if the thoughts are completely irrelevant, whether you use them or not use them? You don't even have a choice to use them or not use them. It's just appearances that comes and go. It's like dreaming at night. When the dreams come, there's no controller. It just seems to appear. But the moment that you wake up, none of it really happened. What if I tell you that the thoughts have nothing to do with you?
who's me in this case? Like,
The thought has nothing to do with a thought. We don't even know what a thought is. It's just appearances. And everything that we seemingly see, we attach a thought to it, a word, a meaning, a definition. Everything that we feel, sensations, we call it sadness or happiness or gladness. What if what is appearing is the unknowable appearing as those guises? And there's a claiming to it. What if the claiming is just a thought and what seems to be happening is just what is?
the, why is there a tendency to believe these kind of thoughts then? Not necessarily believe, but to be
That's just another
interested in them.
thought. That's just another thought. It's irrelevant. It's almost like it's coming up with excuses now because it's being pointed and it is not relevant. A belief is just another thought. Yeah. So it's almost like docking my the preciseness of this by saying that it's irrelevant, it's pointless, and then you try to make a point by saying that why does it I'm just calling you out. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole structure of your character is just based, it's just a whole bunch of thoughts. You will keep on coming with stuff, but they're all empty clouds, empty thoughts, empty words, empty belief systems. There's nothing behind it, is what I'm trying to say. And the tendency is to like why question is then you attach why does it, and it's pointless to even answer that because it's just irrelevant, that question, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way, it feels like it's been asked just to sustain the train of thought, I guess.
Yeah, but there's no train of thought even. The train of thought is just a thought again. Kind of like what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you
From
mean.
from from what appears here, from this directness, because I'm not, engaged in thoughts or whatever, there's no thoughts really coming. Because the moment that they're speaking here, there's actually no thought happening because there's just this, it's almost like there is just not really focus because there's no one focusing, but there is just this in sync with the present moment, although there's when it's in sync then there's no one there because the illusion that there is someone that's thinking this, that there's someone that's speaking this, that there's someone that's listening to this. But if we chop it down a little bit, it's just sounds coming out um of nowhere, and that's saying way too much. Whose sound is it? Where does it come from? And since the response is just a thought, then it doesn't really matter. So all the thoughts will come in and basically kind of like, it doesn't matter because it's just an illusion. So getting caught up in the illusion of reality, kind of like what Einstein said, reality is an illusion, but a very persistent one. Same with thoughts. Everything that you see is an illusion. What's seeing this is an illusion. Did I lose you? I can't hear you now.
Yeah, I guess we're back.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
no
My
worries.
internet is not stable, so
That's okay.
this happened.
That's okay.
Oh.
Yeah. How are you feeling? Am I being too harsh, Khalil?
No, no, I think that's not it. Like, I don't take this stuff personally.
Okay.
It's just that I'm not even sure how I'm feeling, to be honest.
Okay. Good. So usually what this meetings, you know what I'm saying? There's an expectations for something to happen. What if I told you that it already happened? Not your idea of it. Not in the next, because there's no next, it's already this. But there's just this seeming illusion of thoughts kind of like waiting for something to happen when it already is. Meaning that this is the moment already. Not you that have been waiting for, but without you. This meeting has
And it,
nothing to do with you.
and is this like something that I have to constantly remind myself
No,
of?
who's going to remind you of this? This is not a practice. This
Yeah,
is just a very
yeah, I
direct
see.
conversation that that it has nothing to do with you, and then you ask, is this something that I have to be reminded of? You just catch yourself there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This can be very sneaky, yeah, I
yeah.
guess.
So again, in this directness, is there anything missing?
No,
No.
I mean, everything feels fine in this directness.
Yeah,
I mean, that's, I'm not even sure about that because, but everything just is the way it is in this
yeah,
directness.
yeah. So that's basically it. It's just this wide open directness that doesn't have any boundaries, that doesn't really have time. Even though the idea of time might come in, the idea of you might come in, but in this directness, everything that seems to come also goes. So there's this timelessness. Let me just use my thing here. There's this timelessness that we think it's a linear thing, right? That there's this present, there's a past, and there's a future. But with the shift of perception, all of it actually is all happening all at once, meaning that there's this only moment right now. Hello?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just lost you
I've
there
heard
for a
you,
minute.
yeah,
You heard me. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
So yeah, in this directness, everything's happening all at once, but not comprehensible by you, because you can only appear as a linearity, as a past or a future, meaning that there's no you in the present moment. The construct of you can only appear as a thought that seems to be backed by the past, seems to be driven by the future. So without the past or the future, there's really no you. It's just, I can't even say it's a thought because it doesn't exist. There's a just seeming image that seems to appear, the sound that seems to come in and out. But in the present, the infinite present, meaning that it doesn't have a second or an before and after, there is no before and after, meaning that there's no you in this isness. There's ideas of
Isn't this
you.
also a thought, though?
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is. But we have to somehow communicate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It somehow has to be communicated, right? So it's everything is appearing as an illusion. So this is the part of the illusion that is trying to express to you that you are an illusion. I am an illusion. These words are an illusion. But in the very directness of it all, meaning that in the heart of it, meaning in the center of it, there's no center or heart, by the way, right? When there's just this directness. When the illusion does not engage in more illusion and it sees through the illusion that everything is an illusion, meaning that nothing is relevant, nothing is missing, nothing is lacking, nothing is full. Anything that's said actually does not matter because they're all constructs. But the idea of you in the illusion of time seemingly can only exist in time. Without any time, then there's no language. Without any time, then there's no you born, no you dying. If there's no time, there's simply no you. So this whole setup right now is time based. It's like a house of cards. If you take one card away, it falls apart. So if you take the card time away, then there's no you that was born, no you that will die. There's no words that's ever been made because that seems to exist in time. If the words or the thoughts get taken away, then you don't know what this is. If the you gets pulled away, then there's no such thing as time, of course, and thoughts or self or whatever. Nothing at all. So what if those are just holding each other to maintain a seemingly an intricate illusion, but it's very simple to see through. It's going to play out. It's a well played illusion. It's a perfect illusion. It's going to play out like 90 years of your life. But you want to wait at your deathbed to figure this out, that there is really nothing happening here. That this is peace appearing as this so-called life. That thoughts are completely irrelevant. That your problems will come and go, are not even real. That everything works itself out perfectly, always. But when you get caught up in the illusion, thinking that there's something wrong, then you're caught up into an illusion of an illusion, or a dream within a dream. If you're waiting for the next, then you're trapped. You're overlooking the isness, the clarity of this without any words, without any concepts, and then everything is appearing as is. Meaning that without your belief system, then you're seeing the unknowable isness, you can call it God or whatever, but not as a belief system. It's staring at you and you're staring at it. Not as a person, not as a being, not as an idea, but everything that you see is it. Everything that you feel is it. Everything that you long for, every sensations, every taste, everything, even a thinking is it. You can say that if you're looking for God, you will miss it because it's appearing as everything. It appears as taste, it appears as feelings, it appears as language, it appears as conflicts, it appears as whatever seems to appear. But when you get trapped looking for it, then you turn a blind eye to it because it's appearing everywhere. It's everything, but it cannot be thought of. So the thought creates a blindfold of what is. It creates this obstacle, this illusion that you're missing it. When you're constantly looking at it, every morning, every night, every moment is it. When you see that there's no God, then all is God. Not as a belief system, not as an idea, but the unknowable, basically. The unknowable is looking for the unknowable, missing out that it's already the unknowable. It just gets caught in an idea or in a concept that it is not. So what's seeking this basically is also this already. It's just caught up in a dream or a nightmare that it's looking for itself, but there's no self that it can find. Because the self does not exist. It's just a concept, it's just an idea. You have any other questions?
No,
No?
no, I think not.
No.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Good, not good?
I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, there's definitely some intense feelings
Yeah.
arising,
Yeah.
like in the chest area.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe it's a mix of excitement
Yeah.
and fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Basically, fear and excitement simultaneously appearing. It's just aliveness appearing as that. Or what you're looking for, that's it. It's appearing right now. Not as a construct, not as an idea, not as whatever. It's just whatever seems to appear is it. It's the freedom from what you can ever think of, right? It's the freedom from any concepts or any ideas. It's not a realization of you because there's no you to realize. It's just a realization. It's so simple. It's so simple. There's nothing to figure out. You're looking at it, but not you is looking at it. It has nothing to do with you, meaning that you is just a thought. There's no reality to you.
Well, yeah. I, I still have to applaud the way that this was all set, though. Like,
Of course, yeah, it's fascinating. It's like I
I
always say in
mean,
my meetings, I'm like, well played, a slow clap, right? Well played, illusion, well
yeah,
played.
exactly. Like, it's really so well put together.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it is, right? Because it's like it's so simple, but it seems complex, but it's not even complex because that's just another thought. So it's just really nothing.
In a way, this is relieving in the sense that I don't have a, I don't have to figure stuff out.
No, it's
Like, in a
done.
way,
Yeah.
eh,
Because it's just another belief that you have to figure something out, right? But whose belief is
yeah,
it? It's just another, it's just you see it, right? It's like it's like one after the other, right? I have to, it always involves an I, but there's no I.
yeah. I mean, that feels like, yeah. Wow. Okay. You know, in a way, looking back, uh, I'm thinking uh, that psychedelic experience that I told you about,
Yeah.
I think the reason why it was so scary
Hmm.
is because it was so direct in a way
Yeah, you can get that way. Yeah.
that the me or I mean,
Doesn't
the
exist.
me
Yeah.
felt kind of, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's very direct sometimes, right? It's almost like, rips out the wool, like the blindfold. And there's just this colors, this sensation, textures, moving patterns. And there's just this bewilderment, so to speak. The problem with psychedelics is when it's over, then you're grasping for more. When it's the same thing, really.
well, okay. Yeah, it is funny. Honestly, I can't help but laugh in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it just such a joke?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Oh man. Yeah, it feels like, oh man. Uh,
It's such a relief though, isn't it? It's like, oh, because it's all this entanglement is just another idea. This idea entangled with another idea, but it doesn't even have there's not even a second idea really, because that's just another idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, in this sense, I mean, thoughts are also part of the deal, right?
It
Like,
is.
even the moment it feels like, yeah, like even moments where it feels like I'm being extremely invested in thoughts, I mean,
That's it too,
that's
yeah.
also what's happening, yeah.
That's also what's happening, and who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's it's like it's like the characters get too serious in this joke. You know what I'm saying? It's just a joke, right? So sometimes it appears like really serious, and then it's really just a prank. It's
Yeah.
a it's a never-ending prank, right? And I'm so happy that you're laughing now because you're too serious. I was like, oh man, you know what? This guy's too serious.
Yeah, man, I yeah, I get that a lot, to be honest, even even though I'd like to believe I'm not.
That's just another
Yeah,
idea. So
yeah, sure, man. Oh yeah.
there's just, what, laughter at the end of it, right? Because it's like, what the hell? Or it's kind of like the psychedelic, right? You get in, tranced and everything, and then it's like, oh, that was a joke too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember being laughed at during one of my experience.
of course.
Yeah, I was not even sure what was laughing, to be honest. I
Yeah,
just remember being laughed at. Yeah.
yeah. But that's just another appearance, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
yeah. It's just really simple. It's just so the directness of this is so razor sharp, right? And then we tend to put lenses of perception, around it, thinking that this is something to do with this or about this, and then so it's almost like avoiding direct contact with it, because when there's
Yeah.
direct contact with it, there's no thoughts, there's nothing really, and it doesn't matter if it appears or not, right? Because it's direct. It's not about contemplating, although that can happen too. That's okay, right? It's just really a shift in perception. It's just so simple, but there's no one shifting. It's just perception, but without a perceptor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that I did at some point was like the moment that there seemed to be interest in thoughts, I redirect my attention in a way to, I don't know,
How
like
did that
any
work for
bodily
you?
sensation.
Sorry.
No, I
I
mean,
used to do that. That's
no,
why.
yeah. I'm not even sure, to be honest. I
It's
mean,
like flatting, swatting like fruit flies with fruit flies. It just keeps on increasing,
yeah, it did feel like that, to be
right?
honest.
It's like it's like fruit flies trying to swap swat you know fruit flies, but it's just fruit flies all over. It's just like
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean.
then it just
Yeah, that
it
is the thing. Yeah,
just becomes more more flies, like flying around. But it's funny, right? When a fly, it can be irritation because it is what it is. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. It just comes and goes. They're not even, it's just what it is. And I
yeah,
know, when people say that, oh, I hate hearing that it's just what it is, but it is what it is.
yeah. I mean, whether I liked it or not, I guess.
It's as it
But
is. Yeah. Because if you
I
going,
think,
okay, let's go to that one. If you like it or not, then it becomes this whole historical, commentary thing. And then all of a sudden it's caught up again in what I like and what I don't like. But if you look at that, it's just another thought maintaining a thought by
yeah,
creating opposites of like or not like, because it will lead to what I don't like about this, more thoughts. Well, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with likes or dislikes. It's just what is. But it has nothing to do with you. And that's what's wild, right? It has nothing to do with you because there's not a you.
Man, it's funny because every time you say that, there's like an instant physical reaction in my body.
Of course.
It's like, yeah, do you know the feeling that you get in your chest when you're going down a roller coaster?
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's that feeling every time you say that. It's like tight. Yeah. Uh,
because it doesn't
I
have an
think,
anchor anymore. It's free. It's always free, right? So without that thought of you or I that's doing all of this, it's free. It doesn't have any it doesn't have any boundaries, right? It doesn't have any fetter. It's unhinged. It's free. So who cares if thoughts come and go because that's freedom too. And they're not
yeah,
even relevant.
I think part of why this did not seem the way it is at first is because I had these expectations or ideas of how it should be, you know, and I would be like comparing any experience to the way I thought it should be in my head or
Yeah,
to a few glimpses I've got, but
yeah,
I guess I was missing the bigger picture.
yeah. It's like it's like you're it's like looking at the treasure and you keep on looking at your map. What is in
Yeah.
front of you?
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Where is it again? According to, I had an experience with this before, and it was it's on the left, or it's in the past or it's in the future, but there's no future or past. It's in front of you already. It's always in front of you. And that's
Always, yeah,
basically it.
always.
Always, yeah. Isn't it brilliant? Because it seems to be hidden, but it's actually everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll stop the recording.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
always
even
like it
sure
when
what
there's
to say,
laughter in the
yeah,
end.
at this point.
You don't know what to say, right? It's like